All right, what's up, everybody? You got your boy Blue Water, Cowboy Mike in the house again. I just wanted to do a video on me making a live bait well with a water transfer system because the last time I went out, I had a bait well, the same one, but I had air stone inside, and what happened was they were dying off, and I learned that Opelu, the bait that I use, or Akule, they stress out and they urinate inside of the bait well. And what happened is when they breathe that stuff in, they end up dying off because of the high acid inside of the bait well. So I wanted to make a water transfer system where basically it's a live bait well and fresh water comes in, fresh ocean water comes in, and then the overflow goes back out in the ocean and just keeps going. So you don't need an aeration system. You know what I mean? So I did live bait for a while, a few times. It worked out all right. We didn't catch nothing really substantial. We caught a lot of blue bone stickfish, which is the giant stickfish, and we also had like probably a ono bite or wahoo bite that cut our line. So yeah, so I want to share this video with you folks with my adventure of making this water transfer bait well system, and hopefully you guys can, it helps you guys out, get educated on it, and maybe you guys make your own live bait well and go fishing that way. So the point of this system is to save a little bit of fuel, and on top of that is like there ain't no better bait than live bait, you know. So I also do shoreline fishing, and we use shrimp, we use squid, we use aku belly, and for what I like to catch, live bait is the best. Owama, a hole hole, you know. So I'm gonna basically transfer that and do it out in the deep blue water. So when we find the fish, we can just use the live bait and catch more fish without driving around and driving around and driving around. Would bring the fish to us. So anyway, here we go. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, from there to there, it's about 6 feet. And from there to there is about 10 feet. Wire's gonna go down along here to there with a switch. All right, so we got our bait box, and it's kind of difficult opening this and the lid every time you gotta put a fish in. So I had an idea to get this Tupperware thing that I bought. It was from Ziploc. So pretty simple. I'm gonna cut, well, I started cutting this right here all the way around, and then I'm gonna set it into here so I can actually open it up, reach in, grab a fish, you know, and if I need to throw in the fish, it'll be right in there like that. So I'm gonna have to cut a hole here and put this in there also. So I got this serrated bread knife. I'm just gonna cut it. Right through like that. So I have just the lid part. I'm gonna try to get it in like that. Get it so I can glue it down like this, and I can unscrew it and get in there. Okay, so I use this as a template, and then I drew a line around it, and then I screw 10,000 holes the old school way, because I don't have a hole saw this big, and then got a little crack there, but it's not a big deal. And then when I pop this thing out, right here, take this off, and then I got a file, so I'm gonna file all these edges off, and then try to get this in here, and then I'm gonna put glue around it, and so there's the lid factor right there, so that's the goal right there, to get that in there. 5200 marine adhesive sealant, which is, this thing is like the strongest glue in the rubber cement glue in the world. And then I'll put this bad boy in. Boom. There you go. Twist it a little bit, make sure that it's on there. And this guy's gonna take about 24 hours to dry, and this is not gonna come off. So for now I'm gonna put like a 2x4 just to hold it down, and this lid goes on top. There you go. That's where we're gonna put the fish and take the fish out. So perfect size for my hand to grab something. But there you go, we got that part in. We can move on to the next part. Okay, so that's done. It works like this. Throw the fish in, your Opelu in, and then you can reach and grab an Opelu. So that works right there. See? That's that. From our Ziploc Tupperware, and that was literally like $1. So yeah, you. Probably the hardest part about this project is getting a hole saw, you know, that you can borrow from your friend so you can make a perfect hole in here. That's probably the hardest part. Other than that, everything is store-bought. And as for this part, not a problem, because I actually have a hole saw that I put on my drill and I made this hole. But the intake valve for this thing is 3/4, and this is too big. So what I did was I took this apart, and then I actually got the washer, and I'm putting it right here, and then I drew the inside. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a small drill bit and drill all the way around, old school style, bunch of holes all the way around, and then try to get it as best as I can so I can put the intake valve out. And the reason why I put the intake valve is a little higher than the exhaust is because you don't want this to be able to leak water if it's in the same height. I mean, you could, but it's just risky. So I put it up here, so when the water shoots down, it creates, the intake valve is gonna come out of here and then out towards the back of the boat, and then I'm put this valve facing kind of down forward, so it makes like a circle vortex of water. So, you know, at the same time it's gonna shoot down and spray down and make aeration, which it really doesn't need because it's fresh water from the ocean. But that way I know the pump is working also. So I'm gonna place it up here, so that way the only thing that can leak is the exhaust valve, you know what I mean? And so that's probably this is probably the hardest part of the project right here. I mean, the best way is to have a 3/4 hole saw and a 1-inch hole saw, so you can just make it perfect. But life isn't perfect, so I'm just gonna get a small drill bit and drill like a dozen holes all the way around, and probably get a jigsaw or something, or a box cutter, and just cut this out. So I'd rather this be a little too small, that way I can get the drill bit and kind of ream it bigger so it fits snug, you know what I mean, than it being too big and it's gonna leak. So yeah, this is the hardest part of the project. So like this, I'm drilling a whole bunch of holes all the way around, and I'm just gonna cut it out the old-fashioned way. See? Alright, so I drilled all the holes, and then I got a file, and I kind of filed it up, cleaned it up, and it's just tight enough where it really just doesn't fit, but I can screw it on like this. So technically, it's perfect. I mean, this would be the dream hole right there. Okay. I mean, that's awesome. Now we got this on. We're gonna put the washer on this side, and then we're gonna lock it down with this. Okay. But before I do that, I want to use the 5200 adhesive from M3. I'm gonna put it in here so there's no leakage, because this is pretty much gonna be permanent. But I just wanted to show you guys what it'll look like here. And then we have this drain valve. Okay, that's what it's called. And this thing is gonna go down here so the water can escape. You know, water coming in, spraying in. The water line is gonna be down here where this is, and it'll look good. Okay, so another thing is when you drill the hole, you're gonna have all this extra plastic that's on the edge. You want to clean that up so it doesn't cause a lift in your, as a better flushed mount, you know. So like I said, we got this bad boy, and I'm just doing this step by step so to show you guys how easy it is. Okay, so you put this thing on right here. The best part is it's pretty thick, so you can go, I think this is made for your boat, so it's pretty heavy duty. And that boy goes in there, and you put the back screw on. So this is your drain hole. If you notice, it's bigger than that because you want a good size runoff hole for your exhaust. And there you go. That's what's up. Now the reason why I put it this close to each other and this on top is because one hose is going to be here, the second hose is going to be here, and I'm going to zip tie them both together so it's just one, you know, so that it doesn't get in the way of everything. So you got your 3/4 inch tubing for here, let's just say, and then you're going to have your 1 inch tubing for the exhaust down here. And as you can see, it works pretty well. There you go. And then you zip tie it together like this so it's out of the way. You see? So the water goes in here, and then it's going to fill up, and when it gets to here, it'll drain. So in, out, zip tie it together. It's going to look awesome. Alright, so here we got the Rule transom mount and bracket pump. So this is going to be mounted on the side of the boat to collect water for the tank. And this bracket is supposed to go on the side of your boat, not here but the back, and then it pumps the water into the tank, into the hose, and then exits. But I really don't like to put screws into my boat as much as I can. So what I did was I created this thing, and what this does is I'm I'm gonna mount this onto here. Okay, so imagine this is mounted to here, and then this thing is gonna be, let me show you. This is the back of the motor, okay, where these hoses are. So normally you would mount it over here somewhere. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark, but they suggested to mount it onto the side of the boat. So I'm gonna mount it onto here, and then this thing actually slips on like that. You see, kind of like one of those filters for your fishing, your fish tank. It hangs on like this. It's pretty stable. And I'm gonna mount the motor, the pump right here. So when I'm not using it, I can just take this off, take it off, and there's nothing mounted onto my boat, you know. So that's my fish pump mount. I didn't get to make a, you see I cut it in an angle because the boat has a V to it, so it clears when I drive. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to videotape this because I was too busy making it. But I'm gonna put some caulk in here. I'm gonna paint it white or black so it matches. But yep, that's that, and it fits quite well onto the back of the boat. See? There you go. All right, so yeah, this is the transom pump adapter, you can say. I'm gonna install this here, and then this part, I got this 90-degree elbow that is gonna slip onto this. Get this out. So yeah, this is why I don't make videos when I'm making it. So it's gonna go onto here, and I'll put a piece of hose as a sleeve, and then the water is gonna shoot up and over into the fish box through the hose. So I'll show you this when it's done. So here's what it looks like. So I just cut off a piece of that hose that goes to the fish pump. So the same hose is gonna come over here, and it's gonna go to the tank. Sorry. So I'll cut a piece of this. It's about what, a little over 2 inches as a sleeve. So I'm gonna put a clamp here and a clamp here or something like that. I mean, it probably doesn't need it because it's in the water, and if it does leak, it's in the ocean. So, but that's the deal, and it's pretty solid, I gotta say. So there you go. That's gonna go onto here. It's gonna be submersed in the water, in the ocean. So when you turn it on, you don't have to siphon the water or anything. You just pump it straight into this, you know. And then from here, the hose is gonna go from here to this, which has a spray nozzle right there. And then when it fills up, this is the drain, and it'll come back out towards the back of the boat. And I think that's gonna work really good. All right, so I sanded the board, and I got some leftover paint over here. Doesn't matter what you color it, as long as you put something so it protects itself from the water. But so what we're doing right now on this quarantine Thursday night in Hawaii. So like I said in the video before, if you ain't fishing, then find something to do. So I'm gonna finish this project, and then on Saturday. We're gonna take this thing out and try this bait box out and see how it works out for us. So hopefully changes up the game a little bit, you know, from burning a lot of gas, trolling, which I really don't mind, because sometimes when you do live baiting, it can get boring because you're just waiting around for something to bite, drifting in the water, you know. But I've seen a lot of these kayak guys, that's what they've been doing, you know. We tried Opelu one time, and we caught the aha, and my buddy got sick. He got seasick, so we had to go back to resort back to trolling. But the whole point of this is for us to do something a little different. And you know, I also do shoreline fishing, and the best bait when you're doing shoreline fishing is live bait, you know. That's at least if you want to catch, you know, more of the predatory fish, you know. But if you're just gonna catch the reef fish, then you can just use shrimp, you know, like bottom fishing. But we're gonna go for ono and mahi, and so I'm gonna do some live baiting, change it up a little bit for you guys, you know. And anything to save gas is good, because a smart fisherman always try to work the hardest to catch his dinner. And so that's what this is all about. What do you guys think? It's kind of an off-white, but yeah, I'm not gonna bore you guys by watching me paint, so I'm gonna finish this thing up, and then first thing in the morning we're gonna try to put everything together and see how it works out. We're gonna test out the pump, so hang in there. Yeah, you. Not bad, huh? Alright, so here we are the next day. This has been nice and dried. I actually sanded it and gave it a second coat, and it looks really nice. I also mounted the pump on right here, and I shrink wrapped the wires together so it's not flopping around, you know. So every 6 inches or so, I got a little sleeve over here melted down. I mean, ideally I would like to put it throughout the whole wire, but it would have been really costly. But I just did it this way, so it just kind of stays together, doesn't snag on anything. And right now I also bought some extra wire from West Marine to extend it to the battery. And then I want to put these alligator clips on it. This was really cheap. It was like $4.50 for these alligator clips. So I'm gonna put it onto this end of the wire so I can clip it onto the battery, and when I use it, and then I can unclip it when I don't need it. I was debating about putting a toggle switch, but I don't think that's gonna be necessary, because this is not a permanent fixture. So when I use it, I'll clip it on, and then when I decide I don't need it, I just unclip it. If I put a toggle switch, you know, it'd probably be more of a fixed item. That could be later, but as for now, I'm just gonna put these alligator clips on, these small little alligator clips, and I think it'd be fine. So I'm gonna put this on the battery end, and then on the opposite end, I'm gonna solder these two wires together, and then shrink wrap them. So it'll be like that. black and red. I'll solder them together, and I shrink wrap them so it's one uniform wire. It'll be solid like this. And yeah, so I'm gonna get that done right now. All right, guys, so here it is. It's wired up, and this is the boat. I go straight to the box. So I didn't want to mount it onto the boat, so I made this right here, and it goes right there. It clips right on, right onto the side of the boat. See that? It's in the water. And then you have this right here, which is the cord, and this plugs into the boat with these two. This is the clips for the battery, which is right under the seat right there. So I'm gonna put this wire behind the side of the boat, and it's gonna come out of there. But as for now, it's just extension, so I can just clip it on to sample it. And then here we got the intake right here. So from here, the water goes into this pump, comes out, goes all the way into the top of the box right there, and then it's gonna fill up, right? And when it fills up to the fat hose, comes same route. It's gonna shoot right out of there. So in through here, out right out of here. Pretty straightforward. So this is the setup right here, and I got that nozzle. This nozzle is shooting this way, so when the water comes out, it's going to shoot this way, make it spiral, so it keeps it agitated. And then the overflow is going to come out of this hose right there. So it's near the pump, but it's not you know, that close, but it's going to shoot straight down from there. So, and the water comes probably about there, so it'll be about 8 to 10 inches submerged into there. So there you go, in to the bucket and right out of here. So that's the idea, and I plugged it in and it works, so it's all good. The thing is functional, and we're gonna go out tomorrow to sample it. But I decided to put this box there because I could have put it right here, or even right here next to the corner of the boat, which was is also an option. So it's like direct right here and direct out. But I kind of wanted the weight distributed right in the middle of the boat, so it's not like too heavy on one side or another side. But I'm gonna sample that thing out, and what I was gonna do is get this wood trim right here and then put it right along this thing so it doesn't slide. But I know for a fact that it doesn't slide because I went out before and I had the bait box out here, and I just had aerator inside of here. But what happens is, a lot of people don't understand, is that the bait urinates and defecates, and it has a lot of acid in the water, and it ends up killing itself and each other. So this is a way better system, you know what I mean? So we're gonna try it out tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome. And you got the lid up here, and it's mounted, it's solid already, so you can reach inside, grab your fish, or throw a fish in there when you catch it, you know what I mean? That way when you drive around, and it's gonna splash around on certain days. So if it does splash around, there's a lid to hold everything in place. So I was thinking this is a little high. I should have put it like just right about here, maybe even halfway down, just like an inch lower. But I'm not gonna be super picky with that, you know. And if I decide to, I can just grab another one of these tubs. This was like $25 tub, so not too bad. So this whole setup was probably about $250, because this was about 25 bucks, and the hoses wasn't cheap. This was about $5 a foot, and I bought about 16 feet. So, and then I had to buy these the aerator head. So this thing was about 20 bucks, and this thing was about 20 bucks, I think. And if you go to West Marine, if to get these parts, it would be in the live bait bucket area. It wouldn't be inside of like the clips and harnesses and stuff. I was looking there, I was totally in the wrong place. This was literally right next to the live bait well. So, and they were sold side by side, so you know it's mathematically, you know, compatible, because this is actually made for a live bait well. And then the most expensive thing was probably this pump right here. So this pump was about 100 bucks alone. So this is the Rule 5000 village pump, and it comes with the mount also. And then I just had leftover lumber that I put together. I gotta sand this down a little bit, but yeah, that's leftover lumber I had, and a piece of 2x4, and this thing is really solid, so that works really well. So it's hard to get on, and it's pretty hard to come off. So, but there you go. That's the setup, in through here, right out through there. Live bait well 101. And this is set up for Opelu fishing or Akule. So so like I said, I could even put the bucket on the side over here, so it's a little bit lower, you know, from there on a cooler or something like that. But all the weight will be on the left side of the boat. So if I have a passenger, it's gonna throw the weight off. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it there. So there you go. Looks kind of nuts, but it worked last time without the hose. So this time with the hose, it's gonna be awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Get yourself a bucket, buy yourself a pump, get some hoses. Go to West Marine, support your local West Marine. You can order it online. As you can see in the video, you got the name and the part number for everything, so you can just order it. And this is 3/4 inch tube going in, and this is 1 inch tube going out. So you want the going out to be a little bigger than the going in part, because it's gravity fed. And so yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and support local, share your guys' secrets, go fishing, supply for your family. Especially in this time and age, you gotta learn how to be self-sufficient, and most of all, love one another. Peace out.